So guys, we all know that the INEC chairman has come out to tell the entire world that the Constitution of Nigeria does not mandate them to transmit results electronically, you know, and they are insisting that this election was a fair and credible election.
In many parts of Lagos and in other polling units, is that results were not uploaded as promised from polling units. Now that delay, the fear of many voters is that those results, those figures could be manipulated as a result of that delay. And INEC has not been able to give a concrete explanation so far why results were not uploaded real time as promised before the election.
Well, the commission will give an explanation. This commission is a public trust. This commission is a Nigerian People's Commission. We have always been very upfront with information and with explanations relating to issues and processes and procedures in the electoral process. So there were a little bit of delay in terms of uploading polling unit level results into our INEC result viewing portal. So I think at the appropriate time, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission may offer an explanation relating to that. Or if he is not offering an explanation, the commission may likely issue a statement to clarify why there was that little delay. But I am aware that by 10 p.m. yesterday,
This was the moment an INEC staff was asked why the presidential results were not being uploaded. You can hear his response and how he was, you know, missing words because he didn't know what to say. It appears INEC deliberately did what they did during this election. So guys, I'm going to allow you watch this video in full. Please don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to this channel, give this video a like so that YouTube can push it out to others. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you.
Quickly, let me ask.
Thank you so much.
Yes, one major concern in many parts of Lagos and in other polling units is that results were not uploaded as promised from polling units. Now that delay, the fear of many voters is that those results, those figures could be manipulated as a result of that delay. And INEC has not been able to give a concrete explanation so far why results were not uploaded real time as promised before the election.
Well, the commission will give an explanation. This commission is a public trust. This commission is a Nigerian People's Commission. We have always been very upfront with information and with explanations relating to issues and processes and procedures in the electoral process. So there were a little bit of delay in terms of uploading polling unit level results into our INEC result viewing portal. So I think at the appropriate time, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission may offer an explanation relating to that. Or if he is not offering an explanation, the commission may likely issue a statement to clarify why there was that little delay. But I am aware that by 10 p.m. yesterday, all the results of from the various polling units have started coming in. So I think that Nigerians, we ask for a little patience, but these results will keep on coming in, and we are confident that with the measures we have put in place and also with the action we have taken, that the bulk of the results will come in.
It'll be interesting to know when we can expect to hear from the chairman on that. But Mr. Okoye, there are also concerns about people who voted without accreditation due to technical issues with the BVAS system, resulting in a difference of votes that were cast and accredited votes. In one specific instance, based on an email that Arise got hold of, by the way, that was sent from a presiding officer at polling units 120 in VGC, it's claimed that 58 people voted without BVAS accreditation. What is the fate of such a polling unit, and can you tell us more about this situation?
Well, the law, Section 47, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act 2022 makes it mandatory that for anybody who appears at the polling unit on election day, that the presiding officer must use the BVAS for purposes of voter accreditation and verification. So anybody that does not pass through the BVAS and is issued with a ballot, what that means is that the voting in that particular polling unit cannot stand because they have engaged in overvoting. And overvoting occurs when there's a discrepancy between the accredited voters and the number of ballots that are cast in the ballot box. So in such instance, that particular balloting in that particular polling unit ought to be cancelled, and if it's not cancelled at the level of the polling unit, it will be cancelled when it gets to the registration area collation center.
Earlier on this program, Dr. Okoye, we had our reporter Obadioye reporting from the Lekki axis, where there were protests by persons who said that in the Tiosa local government yesterday, they couldn't vote. They were tactically disenfranchised, and they are calling on INEC to organize fresh elections to accommodate those persons who were disenfranchised in some of the polling units in that area. Is INEC likely to consider their request? And secondly, you talked about 10 p.m. yesterday when INEC received the results. Now, the report, some of the papers today are reporting that results were uploaded by about 11 p.m. yesterday from about 20,000 polling units across the country. But by 7 a.m. this morning, that same portal, the IREV, that whatever was uploaded had disappeared. So why did INEC shut down his portal? What were the reasons for this?
Well, I'm not aware that the portal has been shut. I'm also aware that I checked the portal this morning and the portal was still on. So I'm not aware that at any
point in time, were there results there? Were there results uploaded?
The portal was shut.
No, were there results uploaded? The issue was that they couldn't find results there.
No, there are results uploaded in the portal. At least I saw senatorial election results. I saw House of Representatives election results, and I also saw presidential election results. So it cannot be true, and it's not correct that the commission shut down this portal after the portal came on. That is not true. Now, relating to your first question, you know, this commission is a product of the Constitution and also a product of the law. And we also have our regulations and guidelines relating to how issues will be dealt with when they arise. If, for instance, the commission did not deploy at all out of our own making, our regulations and guidelines demands that we should go back and give the people the chance to exercise their democratic franchise. But if, for instance, the commission deploys and due to community connivance, we were prevented from using the beavers or we were prevented from deploying, the regulations and guidelines presupposes that we will take it that every person in that particular polling unit has voted and all the political parties got 0 votes. And so there are different scenarios in our regulations and guidelines. So it depends on the application of each one. But these things are done at the level of the local governments by the electoral officers making a report to the resident electoral commissioner. And the resident electoral commissioner will now take a decision on where we need to go back and where we do not need to go back based on our regulations and guidelines. And then some other ones are also taken at the level of collation. Taking into consideration the concept of the margin of lead, if the places where elections have not taken place will affect the outcome of the elections and whether it will not affect the outcome of the election. So each case is taken based on its own specific issue and specific circumstances. So it depends on the specific circumstance arising in each case. Then the resident electoral commissioner may demand that the law should be applied and we should proceed in accordance with the way the law has designed it.
Mr. Okoye, firstly, the online portal where results are being uploaded to, why are login details required for this process? For the sake of transparency, shouldn't this be a portal that's open to everyone in the public to be able to go on through a website link and take a look at the results? That's number one. And number two, all of the issues that we're speaking about with regards to electoral violence, Beavers not uploading certain results, most of these issues have been reported in the south of the country. We've had very few reports about this from the north, where elections seem to have been a lot more peaceful with with limited issues with the technology. This is also a technology that we have seen work before. It worked during state elections that it was tried out in, yet issues are now arising when it comes to the presidential and National Assembly elections, particularly presidential, where results couldn't be uploaded for presidential but could be uploaded for National Assembly. Why is this the case? Can you please address this? Because it does seem as though there are far more issues going on in the South than there are in the North, or at least that's where the bulk of issues are being reported. But first of all, the online portal, why are login details required?
Well, if you ask me about login details, my knowledge of technology is very, very limited. So if in relation to the issue of login details, I may have to go back to the ICT people to ask them why people require login details before they can get into our portal. There may be reasons, I'm sure there are reasons why people require login details, but I've not, when I'm also logging in, I give my own login details. So it's a technical issue, and my technical knowledge in relation to technology is really, really limited. So I won't even hazard a guess. But in terms of the other issue you raised, you know, I'm also very, very careful about looking at issues from the point of view of regions, from the point of view of zones, and also from the point of view in terms of the dominant narratives in the country. There is no doubt whatsoever, and we have acknowledged it, that there were issues in different parts of the country. Insecurity affected our deployment. The issue of transportation affected our deployment. The issue of some of the ad hoc staff backing out at the last moment also affected our deployment. And so there were various and variegated issues that affected this particular election. But in terms of whether results are being uploaded from a particular part of the country and not uploaded from a particular part of the country, and whether issues were dominant in a particular part of the country and not dominant in other ones, I'm not sure that I have the capacity to do those narratives. But if issue arises, we deal with that particular issue based on our own understanding of that particular issue, and also based on our own appreciation of how to resolve those issues. And so we resolve issues based on where they occur, whether they occur at the level of the polling unit, at the level of the local government, at the state level, or at the national level. And so if any issue arises, we try to deal with that particular issue without looking at whether the thing has an ethnic or religious coloration. That ethnic and religious coloration does not play a role in our resolution of issues and our appreciation of what is going on in the country.
Dr. Okoye, one other major concern in this election has been underage voting. And there was a particular case of underage voting reported from Kano. And I guess the police commissioner in that state was saying there was nothing he could do about it. One young boy in a video was interviewed, and he was asked, where is his PVC? He brought out the PVC. What is INEC doing about that kind of case? And why has there been no statement about polling units in Lagos and Rivers where voting did not take place? And third, Jemima Boloko, our correspondent in Delta State, reported earlier on that in at least one particular polling unit in Delta State, that voting materials had not arrived as at 2 p.m. today. Accreditation had also not been done as at 2 p.m. today. We had that on the screen earlier on. One would have thought that if the election is going to be held today, that INEC will have learned from the errors of yesterday.
Well, on the issue of underage voting that you mentioned, if you recall, this debate has been going on, and this issue arose when we displayed the voters register for claims and objections after we completed the continuous voters registration exercise. And we told the nation that we are also concerned about the issue, and that we have been using our own processes and procedures to remove visibly underage voters from our register. And in some of the places where some of our officers registered underage voters, we pulled them in and they have been facing disciplinary proceedings. And we also concluded that the moment we complete our own internal processes, if we make a determination that there has been an infraction, that we put them in and also prosecute them in accordance with the law. The voters register we went into this election with is robust, and it's also a voters register that we have confidence in. But we have never said that our voters register is 100% perfect. It is a work in progress. We will continue to make sure that we clean up the voters register and get it ready and make sure that our voters register is very, very good. In terms of some of the issues he raised, where elections are supposed to take place and are not taking place, and so on. These things are state-specific. The only one that the chairman of the commission dealt with more the two issues he dealt with specifically. One relates to the issue of elections in Yenagoa, where we had 141 polling units where elections did not take place. And then the chairman made that particular announcement, and also in I think 2 federal constituencies where we had to countermand the election because of one challenge or the other. So these were the two issues the chairman mentioned. But in terms of proceeding, in terms of whether elections takes place in a particular state, those issues have to be harvested at the state level, and then the states ought to apply the law as it is in terms of proceeding. But the ones you pointed out, when I go back to our situation room, I will table it and then we look at it and find out why our election duty personnel are not there and election materials are not there. So the moment I get back to the situation room, I will put it on the table and we look at it, and then we will take the right decision that will be in the interest of the nation and also in the interest of all the registered voters in those places that are affected.
Can you also, sorry, Dr. Abasi, just one thing. Can you also find out in the situation room why online login details are required for people to view the ongoing counting of results? I think it would be great for the public to have clarity on that.
Yes, I will ask the ICT people, and it will also be for my own education.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Festus Okoye, for joining us on Nigeria Decides 2023 here on the Arise News channel.
So guys, this was the moment the INEC chairman deceived Nigerians. I mean, this man deceived Nigerians. There's so much planted confidence in the hearts of Nigerians. And so many of us, believed INEC to the core. We casted our votes and all went home to relax, thinking that the Beavers was really a game changer. Hear what the INEC chairman told Nigerians even before the polls began.
We have tremendous experience of having transmitted results in real time. We have tremendous experience of having transmitted results in real time.
What else did he tell Nigerians?
Transmit results from the polling units, and we're on top of the game. Transmit results from the polling units, and we're on top of the game.
So guys, when we tell people that INEC dashed the hope of Nigerians, as in INEC dashed the hope of the Nigerian people, we all know how we came out en masse to vote. But I tell you, INEC dashed our hope. This was the last-minute media briefing before the presidential election commenced. INEC so much, made the Nigerian people to trust them. INEC promised us that results will be uploaded from the polling units real time. I want you to mark that language, real time. But what happened when it got to that time? INEC told us that they had glitches. So guys, let me allow you watch this video. Please just take your time, watch this video. This was a question session before the elections commenced. I want you to listen to what the INEC chairman said. You will know that INEC intentionally dashed the hope of Nigerians. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please don't forget you can also click the join button below to buy us a cup of coffee. Thank you.
One for the INEC chairman and the Inspector General of Police. To the INEC chairman, with the innovations currently in place, it's expected that uploading of results will be done in real time. And, you know, Nigerians and almost everybody across the world expect this to be done without any hitch. Are there plans in place? We know how technology works and how we've experienced glitches in recent times. Are there plans in case we have, you know, some downtime during the collation of results? IG, in the past, during elections, we've had cases where some of your personnel have been accused of looking the other way while political talks disrupt, you know, election process. I would want you to, if possible, use this medium to restate what awaits them if, you know, such disruptions occur during this election. Thank you.
Please let us allow the Inspector General of Police and the ANEC Chairman to answer the questions so that we don't lose track of them.
You want to start?
Very quickly, let me confirm to you once again, whatever I have said, this one that I'm saying now is the authentic. 425,106, and I have said it even agency by agency. I've told you in the police we have 310,973. Nigerian Security and Civil Defense 51,000. Federal Road Safety Corps 21,000. Nigerian Correctional Service 11,336. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency 9,447. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission 350. Nigerian Immigration Service 21,000. Total 425,106. Secondly, how do you intend to police VIPs? That's a very good question which I have skipped in mentioning. Just like in any other election, we expect our VIPs to drop their bodyguards, orderlies that are armed in escorting them to the polling stations. Or even if they escort them, they should serve or stay at a distance so that the person can cast his vote and leave with his aides. We do not expect armed men in the polling units. And we have told our officers to comply. Those of them with the VIPs have also been communicated through our medium of communication. As to whether I have made my policemen and other security agencies to swear to an oath, I didn't. My belief is that we are all under oath of office and oath of allegiance, and it is continuous. From the time you graduate from the police or from other services, the oath of allegiance and oath of, you will take them and you are expected to adhere to it. As for flashpoints, yes, we have flashpoints. They are known to us. We have also communicated to our officers whom we have posted to those places. I have told you earlier, depending on the threat analysis, deployment can be heavy or can be light or can be average or can be heavy and so forth. They are not meant for your consumption. Thirdly, in the past, police officers are accused of looking the other way for thugs to look, or for thugs to come and perpetrate their activities. Well, we have, that is why I said we have developed a code of conduct. We have issued those code of conduct for you to read and keep it in your head while you are there. And at the same time, we have made a lot of engagements, a lot of trainings for policing democracy, for policing election, and all that. So I believe we will not have, the thugs may not have opportunity to even do so. More so, I think, with ANEC specialization or digitalization, the issue of ballot stocking or snatching of ballot might not be a very serious thing for anybody to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, IG. Today I am fully protected because all the questions, virtually all the questions, were directed at the Inspector General of Police, except the lone question on what the Commission is going to do in the event of glitches, particularly with regards to the real-time transmission of election results from the polling units. We anticipate two challenges. The first one is technical. The second one is malicious act. On the technical side, we have been working as a commission, our engineers have been working, but for several months we have been interfacing with the mobile network operators, the big four, the MTN of this world, the Glo, the Airtel, and the 9 Mobile. And we have gone so far in our relationship with them that in all the states of the Federation and at the National Situation Room here in Abuja, we are going to work with them. In fact, they are going to be embedded into our own situation room. So where there are technical issues, there is capacity, particularly from the mobile network operators, to respond to these challenges. On the possibility of malicious act, I said this severally, that any organization or institution that maintains web presence must anticipate some attempt for some compromise, either internally within the organization or by malicious act. But we have taken sufficient steps to fortify and protect our systems and processes. Unlike the Inspector General of Police, who is leaving certain things to himself, I must also say we are leaving certain things when it comes to cyber security of our assets to ourselves, because the walls have ears. But Nigerians should be rest assured that we are aware that our assets and cyber and resources may be susceptible to attack, but we have taken measures. After all, as I said yesterday, we have tremendous experience of having transmitted results in real time in elections in Nigeria, beginning from the Nasarawa Central State Constituency by-election in August 2022 to the last governorship elections in July last year in Osun State. We successfully transmitted results for 105 constituencies nationwide. So please be rest assured that we are aware of the challenges and we have capacity within the Commission to respond to the challenges. After all, the BVAS is not an electronic voting machine. It will not operate online on election day. It is completely offline. Where we need a little bit of internet connectivity is where we transmit results from the polling units, and we're on top of the game. Thank you.
We will take another round of questions now. Please, as usual, indicate by raising of your hand.
I'm here, sir. The chairman, IG, sir. My name is Omeza Ajay, Vanguard Newspapers. About 2 or 3 days ago, the Okehi local government secretariat in Kogi State was bombed. And just yesterday, the local government chairman decided to go with some caterpillars, and he decided to dig trenches on all the entry and exit points to the local government, leaving just one. I had thought that election day security is the duty of the Nigerian police. Those who dug the trenches yesterday were arrested by your men, but we learned that later on some soldiers accompanied some other men to also dig the trenches again. What is your response to this, sir? I am happy. Secondly, I'm happy that you talked about synergized deployment. I'm asking this question not just because you are the IG, but because you are an influential member of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, meaning that you are conversant with what is going on in some of the other agencies. Now, talking about synergized deployment, some personnel of the paramilitary services have complained that few hours to the polls, despite they are being deployed to their places of assignment, they have not been financially mobilized. Some of your men have also laid this complaint. How would you want to respond to this? Thank you.
My name is Obiora Ifo. I write for Champion Newspapers. So as regards to the decision of the Commission on Enugu East Senatorial Zone, I'd like to ask, does that mean that campaigns can now recommence in that senatorial zone until the 11th of March election? Number two, there is a political party in Lagos that has just said that their logo was submitted from the ballot paper, and they're asking that it's either the commission cancels the election for senatorial and the House of Representative elections in Lagos State, or give a new date, because there is an order of the court compelling the commission to put them in the ballot, and the commission has refused to obey. Thank you.
Please, I will take questions from this side of the hall.
My name is Ibrahim Shita from TVC News. When the IGP was addressing us, he mentioned the potentially volatile situations in areas like Olu, Okigwe, and also in Imo State. Then it does appear that the police, according to him, they are ready to provide adequate security for any area. No area is immune to be protected, according to him. But then he said something like he's not sure whether INEC will be conducting elections in this area, in these places. So we need to understand the situation of things in this area, whether elections will be conducted. Thank you.
Two more questions, please.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. My name is Gift Olivia Samia, report for the Site News Online. So there's a piece of information going around asking Nigerians without their permanent voters card to log on to a particular INEC site to print their information and take it to the polling booth on the day of the election. So I want your take on this. What is this information right? Because a lot of people have been sharing it and encouraging each other to do the same. Please, can you speak on that? Thank you.
Please, this side. NLB, Action Aid, Country Director, please.
Thank you very much. My observation is to the IGP, and that is the issues of violence against women. We are asking you to protect the women who are contesting. And very important, we are receiving reports from Okehi local government of Kogi State. But aside from that, we are asking you to please look at where the women are, because we've noticed a lot of violence against women. Some of them have been assassinated over the past years. Please pay attention to them, protect them. The few that are vying, let them vie through. You know, we are not asking for any special, voting procedure, but let them be protected. Thank you very much.
Please bring the mic to the center. Lady at the center, please.
Good afternoon, Professor Mahmoud. My name is Komla Kluche. I work with Media General from Ghana. My question to you is, we are aware of the shortage of Naira in the system. I know you've made some passionate appeal to the central bank to come to your aid. The question is, do we get any firm assurance from you that all you require in terms of the release of materials and then election tools that requires the use of Naira cash, you've been able to get the needed amount of money from the central bank?
One more question, and then the IGP and next chairman will respond.
Hello, sir. This is a question addressed to the chairman. Would you have any sort of dates as to when we would get the results and have a new president in Nigeria? Thank you very much.
Okay, this time around, let me start before I hand over to the IG and start from the last question, basically asking how soon do we expect results of election to be declared after polling. I just want to say that we will ensure that it is done speedily, but I can't put a finger on the number of days or number of hours it will take, but it will be done speedily. We are aware of the anxiety and the need for us to conclude the process quickly, so it will be concluded quickly. I hope that answers your question. Thank you. Is that Associated Free Press, AFP? Pardon? Okay. So thank you very much. I hope that answers your question. Then Komla from Ghana, shortage of currency, will it be a drag on INEX planning, particularly aspects of our operations that require payment in cash? I think I have responded to this question over and over again. Even yesterday, I responded to this question. It is not all our operations that are paid for by cash. In fact, the bulk of our operations for the procurement of works, goods, and services are paid for electronically. But we need a small amount of money to pay for the unbanked who render critical services, particularly at the local level. And we anticipated this challenge and interacted with the central bank. The central bank promised us that for the little amount that we need to pay for services in cash, they will make the funds available to us. And they have done so. And these funds have already been accessed by our state offices for the election. That's why the movement of personnel and materials in the last couple of days ahead of the election tomorrow has gone on unhindered. So we are most grateful to our relationship with the central bank in that respect. The process will not suffer encumbrances as a result of that. But it's not every aspect of our operations that will have to be remunerated by cash. We only need small aspect of our activities that will be remunerated by cash. Then Obiora Ifo from the Champion, you said Enugu East, can campaign recommence now that the senatorial election has been adjusted? The simple answer is yes. For that senatorial district, the position of the law is very clear. Campaign ends 48 hours before the date fixed for the election. Since we have adjusted the date, campaign will continue to 48 hours before the date fixed for that election. We are now combining the election with the state elections, meaning governorship and state assembly. And the campaign will end for governorship and state assemblies on the 9th. Yeah, it's on the 9th of next month. So since the election is holding on the 9th, they definitely will continue with campaign. Remember, the reason is a party lost its candidate. And the law says we should give the party the opportunity to replace its lost candidate if it wishes to continue to participate in the election. So I expect the party will conduct primaries as early as next week, submit the name of a candidate to the commission. It only follows logically that that candidate should also campaign ahead of the election. But the law is very clear. Campaign for all manner of elections will go on until 48 hours before the date fixed for the election. 48 hours? 2 days before the date fixed for the election. And that's why the campaign that ended yesterday at midnight was for presidential and National Assembly elections, but not for governorship and state assembly. Now, if you look at the timetable and schedule of activities we released last year, there is a 2-week differential. The end of campaign for presidential and National Assembly and the end of campaign for the state assembly, because the 2 elections are going to be held 2 weeks apart. So for that particular senatorial district, yes, the campaign will continue until 48 hours before the date fixed for the election. Is it 48 hours or 24 hours? 24 hours. So I beg your pardon, it's 24 hours. The campaigns will end 24 hours. Presidential and National Assembly ended at midnight yesterday. And at first light, we'll deploy to the polling units tomorrow. So the campaign for State Assembly and the governorship elections will also end 24 hours before election day. So 24 hours, I beg your pardon. The second question is the logo of a political party. They said the logo is made from some constituencies in Lagos as order. The Commission has record of obedience. So the Legal Services Committee look at all the judgments we have been receiving, and they have been coming virtually every day. These judgments. The party you are talking about, in one year, served on INEC 70 processes on the nomination of candidates. And in Lagos, on federal constituencies alone, we accepted the nomination of candidates for 13 out of 24 federal constituencies from that party by court order. So we look at the court orders and respond accordingly. Then Olivia asking Nigerians to go to a particular site to print their PVCs, and he wanted to know whether it is from the commission. That is the easiest question to answer in the world. Is fake news, please ignore. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The first question on the issue of Kogi. Let me give a small preamble before answering. You see, there are many players in the business of crime prevention and control. You see where state governors are in charge of their states as far as security is concerned. So by extension, the local government chairman is also the chief security officer of his local government. I'm not aware of where policemen escorted trench and they were prevented, or soldiers also came and so forth. I'm not aware of what actually happened in that respect, but I'm aware of the arson that has taken place in that local government secretariat, and we are on it. The question of synergy and cooperation, falling into the issue of whether we have taken care of our men financially. Yes, our synergy, collaboration, and would the other agencies board us on deployment. As for welfare, every agency has requested government of his needs or her needs, and government has provided. Let me talk for myself. As for the police, we've been provided with what we have asked, and releases have been made. We are taking care of our officers and men in the 6th geopolitical zone, both in terms of welfare and in terms of getting their deployment tools ready. And that is that. Madam, violence against women. We will look into it with all sense of sincerity and purpose. Thank you very much.
So guys, you've heard it for yourself. That was how the INEC chairman came out and made Nigerians to overbelieve them. We overbelieved INEC. And I think this is also a lesson to every Nigerian. As in, if we don't learn from these experiences, I don't know what else will teach us. I'm just believing that every Nigerian youth has learned one or two things from this election. So whenever there is an election, don't just cast your votes and go home. Please, let's stay back. And do you know where they got everything messed up was during the collation. You know, after the votes were counted, we saw people snapping the result sheets. But you know, when it got to the collation, they now had to change figures and began to upload things that were outside what was actually realized during voting. So this is really a lesson to every obedient out there. And also we have to learn not to believe the totality of what these people tell us. Sometimes we just have to, you know, analyze what they say and know the section you will believe and the section you will not, because at the end of the day they will not do what they say, and they will tell you go to court, go to court, go to court. And when you get to court, you might end up finding out that they've mounted their men, you know, to be the ones to deliver judgment. So what kind of judgment will you be expecting? Fellow Nigerians, this is what happened during the election. INEC chairman told us to go and vote. The result will be uploaded real time from the polling units. And they told us that they've planned for any glitch that will happen. They have plans to arrest it. That was how Nigerians believed the INEC chairman. But it's really a pity that he missed his opportunity. Like Chimamanda said, that this man missed his opportunity to be called a hero. Him and Mr. Buhari, they missed that opportunity. And you can see it that is really glaring, that they really missed a very big opportunity to be celebrated. And in case you don't know, the woman that withstood our politicians and the INEC corrupt staff in Abia State has been promoted. I heard she has been nominated for one something like that. That is what it means to be, you know, to represent your nation. You know, when you stand for the good will find you. Honestly. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others. That's the only way you can help me share this video. Once you give it a like, YouTube will keep pushing it. And please drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Please look down this channel, you'll see a black join button. You can just click it to buy us a cup of coffee. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.